Hello, this is Professor Bustillo-Booth. In this video tutorial, I'll walk you through stage 1 of the multi-stage project for Business 101 Introduction to Business. This project is called Secret Shopper. Let's go ahead and get started. This video tutorial will briefly go over the learning outcomes. I will then go through stage 1 of the 5 that are required for this project. And then I'll show you how to use the form to develop the product you will ultimately submit. I've already gone through the learning outcomes in the overview, so I will just note here that for this particular activity, you're setting up your understanding of the small business that you will observe. This observation then will help you analyze the functions of business, particularly on its operations and marketing functions. These are the 5 stages that this project will be developed over the course of the class. And this video tutorial will focus its attention on the development of the first stage, which is where you will identify a local small business for your observation and where you will then conduct an industry analysis so that you have a sense of the challenges and opportunities within that particular industry, as well as to begin to understand what kind of customers may be walking through that door so that you can appropriately develop performance standards against which you will then, observe the business. So those performance standards are right here, and then observation is right here. Let's now go find that form so that you can complete the assignment. There are multiple ways to access the assignment, one of which is to go through modules and to go directly to the week in which the assignment is due. The assumption here is that you have done due diligence and scrolled through all of the modules for the course and have noted when the assignments are due. So particularly around the project, because that is the major deliverable for the course. Another place where you can find the assignment is through grades. Grades will list all the assignments that will be graded. So you can go scroll through all of the assignments there and locate the assignment that way. I'll go ahead and show you here how to find the assignment in modules. So go ahead and click modules. And then in this case, the assignment is due in week 3. Now, it may also be due in week 2, depending on the quarter that you are taking this course. The idea is that these are spread every 2 weeks, and so you'll just want to make sure you understand where they are organized within the course. In this case, week 3, you'll want to go ahead and click the assignment, Secret Shopper Stage 1. I will also refer to it as SS1. So you'll click that. Then the assignment will appear and it will have details on not only when it is due, but what the purpose of the assignment is, the skills and knowledge you're expected to learn as a result of successfully completing this project. And then it will have directions on how to complete this particular stage. So that will be under task. You will want to read every single word on this page to make sure that you understand what is expected and that you don't risk doing it all over again. So let's avoid that by reading all of the directions. There will be a video tutorial, and in here will also be the form that you will complete, and it's called Company ID and Industry Analysis Worksheet. It may be termed slightly differently in another class, but the idea is that there is a form here that you complete, and you will click that. In this case, for you will download this document to your computer, save it, and you can retrieve it. For this video tutorial, I'll just go ahead and preview the document and go through its contents. Here you'll find, by scrolling down, you'll find that there are actually 2 pages. So make sure that you're aware there's more than just the page that you see immediately before you. This assignment requires that you choose a local small business, and a small business is defined as a company that has less than 500 employees. Note that it's also supposed to be local. If you are considering companies like McDonald's or Subway or Hair Clips, LA Fitness, they are not going to qualify for this assignment because they are part of a national chain and there are thousands of them across the United States or around the world. So they are neither local nor are they small. So you'll need to pick something that fits the requirement. Also, you want to observe a company that you can easily observe the product or service delivery from beginning to end. So please do not pick a company where most of the activity or a lot of the activity is behind doors, right? Unless you plan to actually go through the process of learning about their entire service delivery, you want to pick one that is going to be easily observable to you. So, for example, law offices would not make a good choice, all right? Because a lot of their service delivery is behind the scenes. Now, if you, or accounting firms, now, if you plan to secretly observe or go through their process, pretend that you're actually interested in their services from beginning to end, you can go ahead and observe that business. But, that's probably going to take more time than you have. So good choices would be things like restaurants or gift shops, barber shops, that sort of thing, where you can, there would be enough activity for you to sort of watch what they're doing from beginning to end. You'll identify that here, just be very specific, follow instructions, and you'll be just fine. And then you will then discuss what product or service does this business actually offer. All right, it's important for you to understand what it is they're actually offering so that you know what to observe and how they are engaging their customers in the process of delivering that product or service. Then you'll want to, for number 3, do some research on the industry in which that business resides. This particular part of the exercise can be a little bit more challenging because you may have not done it before. Small businesses, if they are serious about being successful in their industry, do need to do this kind of research. Regrettably, there are a significant number who do not do this exercise because they feel like they're passionate about what they're doing and just go right into opening their doors to their customers without a full understanding of the greater dynamics within their industry, and then they'll find themselves surprised why certain things happen within their industry or why customers may not be responding to their particular offer. So it's important for you to do this exercise, right? I don't expect perfection here, but I do expect you to do the legwork. And so I've given you a place to start. So you want to go to this link, bls.gov, to determine which industry this business resides. And the important part of this process is really for you to do it, to go through the process of learning. I don't expect you to be an expert at research, but I do want you to go and do the legwork. That link will then take you to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it'll have something that says industries by supersector. And supersector is that larger category, and there are generally 2 or 3 sectors, and under each sector will be the industries, okay? And so, for example, in here, it'll list the goods producing industries, and then you'll scroll down and you'll find the service providing industries. And chances are that your particular business resides under the service providing industries. So if you look here, you'll see, for example, retail trade, and it'll have like furniture, home furnishings, electronics and appliance stores, food and services stores, and the like. So chances are what you're looking for will be under the service providing industries. So go ahead and just scroll around there, see if you can find some that makes sense. And it may be that you need to click on a few things to kind of get down to your particular industry for your business, because there are many different kinds of industries and sub-industries within industries. But generally speaking, this will give you a sense of what's around. You can see here gasoline stations, for example. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and click that and learn more about the industry. So I click food and beverage stores, for example, and there'll be some links here that you can click. And as you scroll down or you click, you'll find a little bit more about the industry. This is really a good resource as you do business research. you know, if you're really serious about business, this is a good site to go back to. Then you will need to do some other research about the industry to figure out some trends. So, you know, you can copy this, right? And you can then go into your internet search bar and just write down food and beverage stores trends. Okay? And then in it, you'll find, in this case, I just use Google. You may use other internet search browsers, but it will take you to some research already done by others, and you can click around in one of those, you know, in those links. And you want to make sure that you use sources that are credible. Let's take a look at this one. You'll see, you know, you'll determine whether or not this is a credible source, right? And you'll just take a look and see if this information that they're providing is done by a company who does research as opposed to somebody who's writing a blog, for example, and they may or may not be an authority on that matter. So having done that research, you will now have something to write here in this section. You will then proceed to number 4, where you will conduct additional research on the kind of customers who will frequent that kind of business, and or observe the business to gain a sense of the kinds of customers who typically go there. So there will typically be an age range, right? They tend to be younger, they tend to be in their 20s and 30s, or older, or any, you know, any part of those ranges there. And then who typically will go there, gender-wise, household size, and so on. So for example, if you observe a restaurant where a lot of families are coming with young children, then maybe that particular restaurant is really targeting, you know, families as opposed to younger folks who may be single. All right, so for example, certain taverns or bars are not necessarily targeting families to come in. Now, as far as income range is concerned, what you're really looking for here, whether this tends to be at the lower income range, the lower middle class, the middle class, the upper middle class, and so on. And how you can tell is, again, through research, or you can look at, say, the menu items and ask yourself, who will typically be willing to pay for this, you know, for the products and services they're offering here. Okay. What I don't want to see is a bunch of all, because that is not a target segment of the market. Meaning that while a company will certainly welcome customers paying for their products and services, they are not necessarily targeting everyone in that market space because they don't have enough marketing resources to advertise to all. And so they actually have, you know, if they've been thoughtful about their business venture, they have identified a segment within the larger market to offer their particular products and services because it meets the needs of those particular customers. So if you put in all in here, they'll tell me that you didn't really think much about this and that you did not conduct your research or you did not observe the business to get a sense, and then you will get 0 points for this part. So make sure you take some time to think about that. And then for number 5, you will do some research on the likely competitors. If you're observing dry cleaners, for example, there's going to be, you know, a few of them around, restaurants, and so on. So you'll want to write in here specifics about that competitor, because that will inform you a little bit about the challenges that the business may be, you know, having to face, and also what kind of strategies they will need to pursue in order to be competitive in that market space. So once you have completed an assignment and checked it against the rubric to make sure you've met the criteria, and note that language use is one of that. All right, this is considered a business document, and I expect professional written work here. You will then want to go ahead and submit that work through this button here. So you submit your assignment, you know, so that it will open up a file upload area within Canvas, and you will choose your file, look for that file where you saved it, If you want to add comments, you can do that. And then you go ahead and submit the assignment by the due date. Immediately after the deadline, you will be assigned 3 peer reviews. All right. And there are directions here on how to do the peer reviews, so I will not go over the details of that. You just have to watch the video tutorial. And note that because this video tutorial is for all of my Business 101 sections throughout the year, your particular deadline will be different. So you'll want to make sure that you understand what your particular deadline is, and that failure to review will result in the loss of 1 point for each non-review. Okay, that's very important for you to understand. And that deductions, if any, meaning deductions for not submitting peer reviews, will be applied after the initial grade is posted. So you may find that you had, a score for your submission, but then it gets adjusted down if you have not peer reviewed. So make sure you do that. I don't want you to be surprised. All right, so that concludes this video tutorial for stage 1. Should you need additional guidance, please reach out to me via Canvas email or make an appointment to see me in my office, and I am happy to walk you through how to complete this assignment. Thanks again for watching, and talk with you again soon.